Welcome. Today we are learning how to make plural sentences in Latin. And if you take a look at this cartoon, you'll see the joke, I don't care if octopuses is correct, I still prefer octopi. Well, it's true, we say octopi for plural, many octopuses as it were, because this is a Latin word. And that I ending is going to be a Latin plural ending. Okay, so the idea of plural nouns is that if we want to talk about more than one schola, magistra, or servus, we need to have different endings. In English, we have different endings. How do we make something plural? We add an S, so one school becomes schools, for example. In Latin, let's find how we make something plural. We actually saw this already when we translated Carta Geographica. In these highlighted sentences, terrae sunt magnae and carta est bona, you'll notice that both sentences use words in the first declension feminine, but what's the difference between what we're seeing there? Well, carta est bona uses a singular noun, carta, a singular verb, est, and a singular adjective, bona. The map is good. One map is good. Whereas terrae sunt magnae uses a plural noun, verb, and adjective. So the lands, plural, are big. And pay close attention to those endings. Carta ends in an A. Terrae ends in AE. Those endings of the nouns and adjectives tell us if a word is singular or plural in number. Let's practice making first declension nouns plural. First declension nouns end in A in the singular. So one student, discipula, one frog, rana. But if we wanted to make these words plural, we need to end the words in AE. So discipula becomes discipuli, students. Rana becomes rani, frogs. What about serwa? What does that become? You guessed it, serwai. Puella, one girl. Puellai, girls. Via, road. Viai, roads, streets, avenues, ways, plural. Kulina, kitchen. Kulinai, kitchens. And I bet you guys have seen these words in English. They're actually Latin words. The word alumna, one graduate of Hamlin is an alumna. All the graduates of Hamlin, alumni. One vertebra, one backbone, all of your vertebrae, all of your backbones. One antenna, multiple antennae. Those are Latin words that we use in English all the time. What about second declension, masculine words? In the singular, they end in US. In the plural, they will end in the letter I, which actually we pronounce as E in Latin. So watch this. One male student, discipulus. Students, discipuli. Taurus, one bull. Tauri, bulls. Hortus, and how is it plural? Horti. What about gallus, one rooster? Galli. Now, words that end in ER are a little bit different. Magister becomes magistri. Notice that the spelling changes a little bit. Puer, pueri. We just need to memorize these plurals. We're going to apply the same rules to making adjectives plural. So in the first declension adjectives, feminine adjectives, the singular will end in A, the plural will end in AE. Clara, clarai. Bona, bonai. Serwa mala, a bad slave. Serwai malai, bad slaves. Again, masculine adjectives will end in US, and the plural will end in the letter I that we pronounce as E. Iratus, irati. Magnus, magni. Gallus novus, one new rooster, and Gallus, galli novi, new roosters, plural. Magister optimus, one very good or best teacher, magistri optimi, the best teachers. Notice that if you have a plural noun like gali or magistri, then you need a plural adjective to describe it as well. All right, let's check this out. Can I say discipuli est boni? Let's translate this literally. Discipuli we know is plural, so we're going to translate that as the students. So tell me if this makes sense. Discipuli est boni. The students is good. We can't say that. Something sounds really wrong about the students is good. Why can't we say it? What word do we have to change so it doesn't sound so weird? Yep, we have to change est. The students is good. It would sound a lot better if it's the students are good. So how are we going to change that verb? All right, we need to make est plural. We know that est means is. We use est with singular nouns and adjectives. For example, puella est laeta. Puella is the subject and it's singular. So we use the singular verb est. Equus est laetus. Equus is a singular subject, the horse, one horse. So we need the singular verb. The horse is happy. Sunt, however, is plural. It means are. So we use sunt with plural nouns and adjectives. Puellae sunt laetae. The girls are happy. And equi sunt laeti. The horses are happy. Let's practice. So for this practice, which by the way you'll be doing a little bit later in class on a separate practice sheet, you will translate the sentence given to you, then make the entire sentence plural, and finally you will translate the new plural sentence. Let's take a look. Puella est contenta. Translate that sentence. Puella est contenta. Well, those are singular endings. The girl is content. Now make this plural. We need to make that singular ending puella and that singular ending contenta and that singular verb into plural. So that becomes puellae sunt contentae. How do we then translate puellae sunt contentae with all those plural endings? The girls are content. Great, let's try another one. Puer Romanus est magnus. Take a moment to think about this. How will you translate this sentence? All right, that translation, the Roman boy is great. Remember, there is no Latin word for the, a, or an. So you can just say a Roman boy is great or the Roman boy is great. You could also, by the way, say the Roman boy is big because we know that magnus means great, big, or large. Let's make this sentence into the plural. We need to make the subject plural. We need to make the verb plural. And we need to make that adjective describing the subject plural as well. How do we do that? Think about it for a moment. All right. I hope this is what you got. Pueri Romani sunt magni. We have all of those plural masculine endings. And when we translate it, it becomes the Roman boys are great. Or as I said, you could just say Roman boys are great or Roman boys are big. Next one. Humidos est. This is a little bit different. Check out that verb es. Sum es est. Sumus est sunt. You know this is second singular, so it means you are. Humidos est, you are wet. Notice as well that the verb is at the end. You'll see that a lot of times in Latin, that the verb will be at the end of the sentence. You are wet. How do we make that plural? We need to make the adjective plural, and we need to make the verb plural. It becomes humidi estis, which we translate as y'all are wet, or you, plural, are wet. Great. So, having listened to this screencast, you will now complete a practice with plurals worksheet. If you have some trouble and want to take a look at this PowerPoint again, you can do so by A, watching this video, or B, you can download this PowerPoint. You can always find PowerPoints on the portal under downloads on the class page. When you finish, check your work by downloading the answer key from the portal. So again, step one, you're going to be completing a worksheet called Practice with Plurals, which, by the way, will look very similar to this. And then when you finish that, you will check your work by downloading the answer key from the portal. You have my permission to work with a buddy quietly while going through Practice with Plurals, especially if you have questions. Use a pal next to you. He might be able to help you even before you have to check that answer key. All right, best wishes, and I'll see you next time.